In today's video, we're going to talk about the top 5 security predictions we made for 2019. So what we did is we looked at what was happening in the cybercrime world in 2018, specifically the things that were affecting businesses. And this is what we came up with. So the first one is the proliferation of IoT. It used to be that your business network would be a printer, a bunch of computers, and cell phones. Now what we're seeing is that on top of that, people are adding plugs, lights, stereos, speakers, you name it. I mean, it's just, there's so many devices now that can work on the network. And although that brings some interesting and cool functionalities to the workplace, and a lot of times it can be a lot of fun, the challenge is that every time you add more equipment, more technology that's online and that's on your network, you're actually increasing that perimeter. You're actually making the attack surface much larger. And so what you need to think about when you're doing that is, are you actually securing this? So before you just go in there and start buying all the new trendy IoT devices and putting them in your office, do some research. Research the actual devices that you're looking to purchase to see how secure they are, how supported those devices are by the companies that back them. And also do some general research just on best practices for securing IoT. At the bare minimum, if you don't have the time to do that right away, the 2 things I would say that you must absolutely do right away is change the default passwords on these devices and make sure that the firmware is up to date and that you have some schedule of updating that firmware on a regular basis. So the next one that we're really seeing pick up is two-factor authentication. So you've probably seen this where you go to log into a service, it asks you for your username or your email and your password, and then you get a text, and that text is another code that lasts for a minute or a couple of minutes. You enter that code in, and essentially that creates another level of security. So if a hacker was to have found your password due to some breach where they bought it on the dark web, they wouldn't be able to just go in and start using that password to try to access sites, because without that other code that comes in on your phone, they wouldn't be able to access. It's not 100% bulletproof, as is the case with pretty much every security control or best practice, but it significantly increases the chances that you will not be breached through one of your logins. The next one is that attackers are getting way better at what they're doing. So it's a combination of things. First of all, they know now that there's a lot of money in hacking. So this really creates a big motivator. And you don't have to be a genius coder to be a hacker like you once did in the past. You essentially can now go online and find amazing information and free training resources to teach you how to be a hacker. And then you can buy tools. There's tons of different tools out there, and they're getting better and better. And you can use these tools to build a crypto locker, for example, or a ransomware tool. And then you can buy databases of contacts, people that are ripe and ready to be hacked. So it's really easy out there. We're going to see the sophistication go up on the social engineering side. So one of the common forms of social engineering is phishing. So that is where an email is sent to somebody within your organization to trick them to give away some piece of information or some piece of access or trust so that they can breach into the network. So really what you need to do is make sure that your employees and yourself and your family, for that matter, are aware of what phishing is and aware of what social engineering is. There's tons of free resources on the internet. You can go and watch videos that'll really help you understand that. So really big help to improving your security. The next one is that security and privacy are very quickly becoming a major board concern. So we saw this happen in the last couple of years at the enterprise level, and in 2018 we saw it start to happen in mid-market. So basically 2019, it's going to pick up in mid-market companies and even in smaller companies. Basically, it's being realized that it's not simply an IT matter. The reality is very easy. It's that if your company is breached, or if that you violate GDPR or some other privacy regulation and you get caught, it can take your company out. Major fines, brand damage, all bad things. So really, if you're on a board, you should be looking at your next board meeting, just bring it up. What are we doing to secure this company? What are we doing to ensure that privacy is being respected and that this company is taking it seriously? It really needs to be at the same level as churn rate, sales, cash flow. It is one of these big factors that can determine the success of your business. The next one is that we're seeing a real big increase in focus on small businesses. We saw this in 2018. You're not really hearing about it that much, which is why a lot of small businesses still don't think they have anything to worry about. The reality is your story is not as big as Target or Equifax or a major company being breached. So you're not really hearing about these regular occurrences. They're happening more and more. See, the thing is that the hackers, they've figured out that small businesses have money, they have resources, and they have data. And what they don't have is they don't have the resources to put towards security, or they're not taking security seriously, which makes it a much easier target than trying to go after a major Fortune 500 company. So if you're in a company, you're managing a company, or you own a company, or you're on a company board, you should really sit down and talk to your team about what's happening for security and start making a plan to increase your security posture into 2019. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like content like this, please like our channel and subscribe. We'll have much more coming down the line over the next couple of months. Thank you.